before I come to that. So, so shall we say, this is our final flow for how we will be pitching and closing. Let me just walk through the steps. Please stop me and tell me that one big step is missing or something we need to do. So the team member is the one who sends the calendar link to the client. And we've seen that happen from Eric. Does anybody have anything to say? Yes, Shamari?
Yeah. Anytime I download from the link, the pitch deck, it's come as a previous one. It's not updated. I don't know if it's on my side only.
Okay. So we have changed the location of the pitch deck. I'll share it with you. I don't know whether you have seen the second message, the new second message, the new third message. So you can click on the pitch deck and it's always there. It's one link. Just have a look at the second message. Yeah.
I've seen the ClickUp link got.
Yeah, not the ClickUp link. I think it is a Hubspot link now. All documents, everything is moving into Hubspot. Okay, so the team member sends a calendar link to the client. The client sets up the meeting with the team. We need a way how the pitch team member informs everybody about the meeting. And we are saying he can do that by creating a deal in HubSpot. But that's not good enough. He has to create a deal in HubSpot and he has to inform the group leader and team leader and so on and so forth.
Post it on WhatsApp. Can that make sense?
Posting it on WhatsApp in the big group, how does he know where the team member is?
In the big group where everyone is in.
There are like 10 such big groups actually. There is no one group.
Maybe post in all.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. We need to figure out a way where you are able to inform this. I think.
Is there a way you can tag? I mean, I'm just trying to see. Does HubSpot have a feature whereby you can create a kind of a notification and tag?
Yes, there is actually. So let's take this example. Frederick, right? Frederick is the client. And Keisha was probably the pitcher. And let's say Keisha is, the meeting is set up, right? So when the meeting is set up, Keisha clicks on this button, meeting setup button, right? And he can say who needs to attend, right? So for example, so this needs to be fixed, but he can say Bahana needs to come. Bahana. Farah needs to come for this meeting, right? And somebody else. Let's say Jean-Marie, right? Team, I have fixed the client. Client ABCD has fixed the meeting. Or not client ABCD. In this case, it's client Frederick. Frederick has fixed the meeting. Please attend. And when is the meeting he has fixed? He's fixed the meeting on the 16th. What time he's fixed it? At 11 o'clock. Title of the meeting. Okay, you don't have to say all those things. Frederick and step up .1. Yeah, save it. Is that okay, guys? Is that something that you can do? So Bahana, Farah, and Jean-Marie, can you see if there was a notification or something that came in your phones? I'm pretty sure notification is turned on for all these things. Notifications, deals. Yeah. So you are mentioned on a deal record. So we mentioned you, so you should get notified. How to notify? I don't know. Notify on the mobile app, maybe.
I still can't see on my side.
You're mentioned on a deal record, yeah. So get notified when a teammate, yeah, it should notify you. Can Farah, you share your screen, possible?
Yes, yes, I can.
Yeah, can you share your screen if you don't mind, because we can see.
Can you enable me to share then?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Kisha, you can also check. Jean-Marie, you can also check, right? You know, how did you get notified? Because I just marked all three of you. So you should get, go to your HubSpot and go to activity, right? Or notifications, where it will be there. Yeah.
So let me check.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is activity.
That's it. It's there right in the middle. It's there. The problem with this thing is you never got notified, right? Look at that.
So is it
the first one?
I think this was a previous one.
Oh, no.
One.
This is not the one. Can you just, keep moving? Where is your notification basically? This may not be a notification. Go to more.
Yeah.
Can other people check? Farah, sorry, the other people also more.
Yeah, notifications. Yeah.
Where is, notifications, yeah. Activity feed, you are mentioned on, it is there actually. You are mentioned on a deal record. I mentioned
so I have to come here to check whether I'm...
No. It is just, you are enabled. Yeah. So you have enabled it. So which means, so I think you might have turned on your notification. Can you go check your notifications on your Android phone?
Yeah, this is my Android phone. I'm using my Android phone now.
No. What I'm saying is you have to go to notifications and settings of your Android phone.
Okay.
So go to settings and notifications. Yeah. Settings and where there is, this one. So there must be some notification somewhere there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and here included apps. So all apps are included in that, is it? Click on detailed. Click on detailed. Yeah, detailed, and then more. I'm just thinking, you need to find HubSpot and click it. Yes, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Just go down and see if HubSpot is there in this one. GH.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not here.
Okay. Why is that? Can you find a way to add, HubSpot?
Yeah, sure.
Because
I will.
that's why it is not coming. What about Jean-Marie and you guys? Can we double check this? Because this is so important that we need to get notified. All of you should get notified.
Yeah.
Right.
As we are thinking of this alternative, I'm thinking of what about giving this role to the team member, because the team member can easily communicate to the team leader and the team leader can communicate to the group leader. What about the team leader, a team member playing that role of informing the others to attend the meeting?
He can do that, but who will communicate to the team member?
Yeah, the pitcher.
How? How will he do that? That's what we are trying to do. So basically, as soon as somebody asks to book a meeting, you will create a deal, correct? And then you will create a meeting. So create a deal and create a meeting. When you're creating a meeting, you can mention the names of those people. Are you with me? It's really easy. I think the problem is not mentioning the names. The problem is mentioning the names of all three people: team member, team leader, and group leader, because that may not be very clear. And if the team member has to do this, they will struggle to do this. Right now.
So you have. Yeah, so you have to go to the, when you see, I'm thinking of a way that I will know the owner of the deal. Sure, I can know from the HubSpot.
Yeah.
Then I have to go to the dashboard to see his team leader so that I can mention.
Yeah. No, do one thing, I think if you start, telling the team member, then we can, we can find out a way to inform the other two people. Or,
Hi, Anes.
yes.
Okay, did you send a notification using an email?
Okay, let me just check one more time. So just creating another meeting. Put something for a ED.
Is that Farah's email?
No, it's not. There's just a mobile notification, right? So it's not email.
Oh,
It's mobile. So everything that we're doing here is a mobile notification. So Farah and ED. Anybody else who's on their HubSpot right now? I'll just put Ahmad Ali,
let me check.
Isha. Yeah. Yes. So if I say, blah, 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 please come to the meeting, blah, 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 and I've given some time next week, 9:45. Title is also blah, blah, blah. If I save it, it should just, inform the people, right? This should inform the people. This should create a notification on your mobile phone, and then so that mobile phone should say ping. I'm really surprised how that is not happening. Can you guys figure this out? I'm sure it is a question of enabling something in your mobile phones. But it's a complicated problem, right? How does Farah find the team member, team leader, and the group leader for every deal that he's pitching? That's too much work for him. Any ideas, thoughts, how to, make it easier? Okay, let's solve this problem. I think, looks like none of you have an idea. So, but we have to solve this problem. We have to finish the communication line, So
Hi, Anes, I've got a notification in my email.
In your email, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Not on your app. Was your app open?
Yes, I have an app, not really open, but I just checked on my computer because I'm on my computer and I see Farah, Ed, Ahmed, Kiza. Yeah.
Okay. So it came via your email, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. But can you keep your app open? Your app should be open.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check.
Your app should be open and your notification should be, enabled.
So I can see most of the task on my email, sure.
Sorry, what's that?
I can also see both of the tasks that you created on my email, step-up.one email. Okay.
So I'm mentioning Idi, Bahana, Keisha. Anyone else who's got their app open, who's got their HubSpot app opened?
Yeah, I can get the message from my phone. You can try mine.
Okay, Ahmad, yeah. Paul, yeah, I'll add you also, Paul. I just want to see, when I press create, whether it sends a notification. So it is because of this, is it? You should just create a notification. It's a simple bloody thing. I don't know why it is not. Add to Office 365 calendar, add an internal note, take notes for users in your account. No, I don't need all those things. Let me save it again. I just created one more thing for Paul, Ahmed, Keisha, Bahana, and AD. Ideally, it should say ping and, ideally. This is the best way to notify. But yeah. Okay, so that is one thing. So let's go back to the, while you guys are looking at it. So this is the flow. We do have a problem. This, how does this inform everybody? I'm just going to put it as a red one because we haven't figured this out. Right? We have to figure this out. It's red because we don't know how to do it. Inform everyone about the meeting. Yeah. So okay. Create a deal in HubSpot. Create the deal. Create a deal and meeting with a team member as a minimum spot. Okay. Okay, we have done. Yes, Farah, keep talking.
So yeah, I just wanted about the team member. I think reaching to the team member is quite easy because when you see his name, you can look from the dashboard and you can get his contact. So the picture, I think it's quite easy for the picture to communicate to the team member, and the team member takes the role of communicating with his team leaders as well as the group leader. So I'm thinking that can work as an interim maybe solution. Yeah,
I agree. Completely agree. Yeah, that let's basically at least mention the name of the team member, because that's very easy to do. Without the team member name, you can anyway not track anything. So that's going to be really important, right? So yeah, please, that's not a problem. We can keep that as a thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So create the deal is okay. Pitch the is okay. Set up the thing. I think this is okay. The team member flow. Also we can say team leader can see all the deals. Okay, this is team member, right? So team member to communicate the meeting to all to his team leader and group leader. I think that's the important thing. How can he communicate this? I think maybe by saying in his WhatsApp group or whatever, right? Because that person should know who his team leader is and group leader is, hopefully. Or even he can add records if it's possible. I think everything else is possible, except my biggest problem is this one, right? Whether the team leader can build and send the dashboard. So how many of you right now, if you don't mind, if you can just raise your hand to this question, how many of you, like, let's say the only information that you have about your client is a URL. Okay, let's take Frederick Bengston. Yeah, so this URL is there with you. This is all you have. How many of you can actually prepare a dashboard with only this information? You have nothing else other than he's Frederick. He's a CEO of Baby Nam, which is a company. And, it is here. You can click on this company. You can go and look at what this company does, right? You can visit their website. You can, that, they have like 6 employees, etc., etc. Okay, so this is all the information that is there. For every client, you should be able to see this information. How many of you in this call can actually create a dashboard for Frederick? And ideally, it should look something like this. I can try to find out where this dashboard is. But yeah, how many of you can you raise your hand? So yeah, something like this. This is the dashboard that we have created for Baby Nam. Yeah. Okay, so you should be able to create a dashboard like this. Okay, client name, baby ma'am. What do? They do something for pregnant mothers. What could be his objectives? You know, I mean, obviously it's very difficult for you to learn all these objectives, you know, before even the simple objective that you can know is, you know, find clients. That could be a simple objective, right? How can you find clients, etc., etc. So you can use this as a you know, initial thing. So okay, are we saying only Bahana and Ahmed can prepare this thing? No, no, no. Are we serious? I mean, like, you know, that means we should stop, you know, signing up clients until we, you know. Did you guys hear my question? Yeah.
No, I didn't hear. I was off sometimes.
And hi, Anes.
Yes.
Looking at the objective, it's good. And then there are times when I just saw you advising the client based on their contact in their LinkedIn, they can either go for branding before we go for sales. Could that also be an objective you can advise client when you're creating a dashboard?
No, I mean, just start with everything, you know, you start with, you know, this is how you can brand, this is how you can network, and this is how you can generate leads. So have all three objectives nicely painted in the dashboard. And then the client will say, oh, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So I'll repeat this question one more time, and I want everybody to, you know, either, you know, say yes or no. And based on that, we have to, you know, take a call whether you are good enough to start leading teams or go back to working as a team member. My question is, if the only thing that you had was the name of the client, which is name as in, like, you know, the URL of the client, let's say in this case, I'm taking Frederick as an example, right? If you had only Frederick's URL as a thing, and from here you can find out what is he currently doing, what company is he working for. You can go to the company's website, learn about the company's website. Without ever talking to the client, I want to know how many of you can actually create a dashboard, a very high level dashboard. Can you please raise your hands? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I
Paul.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Okay. Thanks, Shamari. Anyone else? You know, is that all? Other people won't be able to create a dashboard like what we have created. You know, I mean, it's not rocket science dashboard. You know, you don't know anything about the client. You have never met the client, but you just know his LinkedIn. That's it. Right. And we need to create a dashboard, right? And we can even, you know, create a dashboard right now to show you, but I'm just really, I want the thing. So Keisha, Jason, I mean, I'm surprised that you guys don't know how to create this dashboard. Shem, I mean, I would expect Shem, Keisha, Yaradi, you know, Jason, you know, all of you to know this. Is that right, or my expectation is wrong?
I think the thought is to create the dashboard from scratch, whether we have the mother dashboard that we can edit from.
Correct, Jamari.
Yeah. You know, obviously you have access to the mother dashboard, right? You know, what is the big deal? You know, you all have so many. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, Bahana.
Yeah, can I come in very quickly?
Yes.
Yeah, so now just wanted to double check, because I've seen quite a number of different types of dashboard we've been working on lately. So just want to confirm which one has been you know, kind of standardized, because we have different types of dashboards so far. You know, like there's the previous one a month ago. I worked on a different one that doesn't look like this one. And in the previous meeting we had, I think you are showing us, you know, a different one. So I just wanted to make sure, you know, all the team leaders and group leaders have access to the same kind of unified dashboard, so that I think before the meeting, the team member together, the team leader, based on the basic information we have from the client, from the LinkedIn account, what they're doing, the services they're doing, we're able to kind of drafts, something that we could present to the client during the meeting, and then the client would say maybe no, this is my priority, this is my industry, let's start with this, blah blah blah, kind of a validation process during the meeting,
Yeah.
So, but we need to have, a standardized, unified, agreed upon, dashboard that we all work with, Of course, there is, involvement, but because now we want to make sure, the graduates, all of us, we have our hands on this. So it's good to have something that is already there. And then once we make changes based on, new development, then we can update everyone. So guys, please, can you update? This is the new dashboard. Let's go with this and all of this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let me, I will do that. I can, the evolution is so fast that, sometimes, so we can do that definitely. So, let me take that as a task for myself, and I'll make sure that, I will communicate that, right? So let's imagine, so this is the client sample dashboard, or this is the template, right? This is the template from where you're going to start working on. So client and client name and what they do. This is basically client name, like who's the client who's going to be responsible for or the client name or role, right? So typically whether that is a client or is a name or a role, basically, right? You don't have to always do this. So we have we can have 5 objectives, and we start with target audience, but let's start with objectives, what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve is, like branding and branding for, or rather, the target audience is, we'll worry about this later. So branding is, what do we want to brand? The client, what do we want to achieve? You want to achieve thought leadership in client name. Okay, so client company name and company description, right? Like this, right? And what they want to achieve thought leadership in, like say, hashtag marketplaces, hashtag B2B growth, hashtag let's say something else. Okay, let's say something else, hashtag pregnancy. I know it's a bit weird, but and where does that thing, and who's the target audience for branding? It's basically CXOs of some companies, like for example, certain industries, something like this, right? So this is my first target. Where will that happen? Mainly, I want this branding to happen for me on Twitter and LinkedIn. And how many people will work on the stuff? 1 person. How much? 300, right? Second What does he want? They want thought leadership. So I think, this target audience, this one, right? This has to be, called branding, isn't it? So I'm thinking how to call it that. Yeah. This target audience can be, I'm thinking of taking it over here. And this can be, client. Yes, CD, keep talking. Client, and this can be, service. Keep talking, Edie. Branding. And this is.
I got the idea. There's somebody I didn't understand the idea.
Personal network. So branding in personal network is one deal, right? So, grow personal network. Right? Then another thing, where to grow the personal network? Identify and connect to all CXOs in telecom or whatever. I don't know, where are we going to do it? In Sales Navigator. How many people? One person. Right? This target audience, I think, is not even needed. I'll just delete this target audience. Because why do we need these things? Because we are explaining that in CXOs and telecom here, right? If that is the case, then why do we need to say, separately target audience? So what is the objective? Who's the client? What service does he want? What will we achieve? In which channel? How many of them and how much? Right? If this clarity is there for every one of our client, then I'm thinking, it should be pretty straightforward, right? So branding, personal network. The third objective could be, generate leads, right? The fourth objective could be hyperscale marketing. The fifth objective could be hyperscale lead generation. Right. So these are the only 5 objectives that an individual person can have, that we can serve. I mean, of course, there could be other objectives, and we can always, figure it out and do it as we, keep going. But I guess you guys get the idea, right? This is what it is basically, and fundamentally, this is what it is. Yeah. Is that clear, guys? Is everything getting more clearer to everybody? What is the role? What is the service? And we can always say, what is our recommendation? Like, for example, I think our recommendation is always going to be this. Start with this. Right? Always start with these two. Because if you brand properly and, this two, this will always be a recommendation. These 3, I think is good. But I don't know. We will. What do you guys say? I think these 3 should be something that they can always buy afterwards. Are you guys with me? Do you agree with me? We want all our clients to start with branding and growing their personal network.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Because without having a good image for yourself, without having a good personal network for yourself, you're going to look like a used car sales guy. Oh, buy this, buy this, buy this. You understand?
That's a very nice concept, by the way.
Yeah. Just going to shade this one slightly. Just hide this one here so that, people can see just this. Yeah, does it make sense, this whole thing? Yeah, so generate leads is very simple. It's basically connect, converse, pitch, and close deals to all CXOs in telecom, right? How do you hyperscale marketing? Identify, join, and post into relevant groups, into relevant LinkedIn and Facebook groups. Is that clear? Yes, Farah, keep talking. Please don't raise your hand. Just keep on talking, guys.
Yes. On the lead generation point, like our role is just to connect and converse when when the clients feel engaged. They are the ones, our clients need to do the work, right? So do we need to include their the pitching and the closing deals?
Where? Sorry, I'm not able to understand.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I'm assuming this is the dashboard that we will show to our clients, right?
Yes.
Then the lead generation side, our role is to connect and converse with the clients on behalf of our clients, their target audience on behalf of our clients. So, like, are we also supposed to do the pitching and closing to include there?
Sometimes, sometimes, we can send a pitch deck and the close is, a software link.
Oh.
Yeah, like the e-deck.
Yeah.
E-tech. Like maybe buy now, a call to action.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important, it's important to understand this dashboard because we are the ones to present it. If you don't understand it, what will you talk about in front of a client?
Yeah.
And maybe I just wanted to ask something here about Twitter. I am okay with LinkedIn. I don't know if it's only me, but I really love to understand how Twitter works here. And then also in hyper-skill marketing, I also need to understand a bit about how do we target the groups. Can I get a simple explanation?
Sure. Just to know, there are dedicated, 2-hour videos on each one of them. So, you can go and see them. Just search in our YouTube channel, hyperscale marketing or hyperscale lead generation. You should be able to get something. So identify, join, and post. So I hope you see the difference, right? Here we are posting. Here we are doing join, connect, and converse with relevant clients from the 30 groups. Is that making sense? Join, identify, join, connect, and converse with clients from the 30 groups. Yeah. I think it should be pretty straightforward. Right?
I've got the idea, Nils. I've got the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think this is what we are trying to do. So this is all the 5 things, isn't it? These are all the 5. I don't know whether we should, make it slightly lesser. No. Yeah, this is easier. Nice. Yeah, is that okay? Clear? So the green is our recommendation, the something that they can add up to that. So here, this branding and thing, I'll remove this 300, right? What do you guys say? Because we do both for 300. So can I just remove this? Or should we try to, make this into one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking actually. Branding and networking, we do it at once. So yeah, I was thinking like we combine them into one.
Yeah.
Line. Yeah.
Something like this, right? So one person, one price. Yeah. Make sense, guys? Or any questions on this? So these are the two things. Branding, is basically posting, right? So should we say identify and post thought leadership content in 3 specific hashtags? Yeah, even more easier. Identify and post thought leadership content. Identify, connect, and grow. Identify and connect to all potential clients. Identify and connect. That's it. Identify and connect to all potential clients. That's it. Right? By company, industry, or country. Right? With all potential clients. Okay, so you have done that. Now, how do we do this branding? That's the first thing that we need to close, isn't it? Objective 1. How do we do the branding? And what should be the the dashboard for that branding, right? So if you look at it, it's always the toughest one. So I've always never dealt with it properly. But we must try to create a dashboard for this, in this thing. Otherwise, we are going to slowly and steadily lose our clients. So objective 1 is branding, right? And how are we going to do that objective? It's going to be very, very tricky, but I'm just searching for some kind of a content that we can use. So what do we need for fulfilling objective 1? What are the few things that we need for fulfilling objective 1? I think even this is important.
Yes, Anis, I had like an opinion of putting the growth of the personal network before the branding.
Why? Oh,
yeah, like when you want to brand, you should have your audience, like the right target audience and connections around you. So like we start with with building the connections, then we come to the branding.
Yes, it's a fantastic idea. Fantastic idea. Yeah, thank you. Very good idea. That way we can really nail some of these problems actually, right? So it's basically branding should come here. Mm. And it should become 1. That should become 2. Insert something and then delete this. Oh, I hope it is. It's all gone crazy, but we'll work it out. Yeah, branding, growing personal network, and then branding. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this one is 1 person. And how much? Yeah, so 1, and this is 300, and this is equal to this multiplied by this. Yeah. Yeah. Done. So objective 1 is grow personal network. Yeah, let me just copy this. And put here. Okay, so objective 1 is not branding, it is basically. Yes, Sostin, go ahead. It's also important to talk about the client team and your team. I'm just thinking how to do that. Where should we talk about the teams? Ideally, the team is best to be spoken over here, isn't it? So, Steen, you raised your hand. What happened? You want to talk?
It was about to mention about the clients of which I've been getting the feedback from them, but not yet. I have not get the feedback from the team or the step up, so that with positive feedback I can give them, so that at least I respond to their messages. Yes, thank you.
So, Steen, I'm sorry, can you please type your thing? I'm not able to understand what client are you talking about, what feedback. Just give some context and type your thing. I'll just have a quick read. So,
yeah, let me do that.
Yeah, it's because it's a bit difficult for me to understand the context of client. So identify. So basically, we've got the, this is what we know, and what do we need in order to grow the thing is also this team. So I think this team is something that we need to deal with outside. I would say. So I'm going to paste it here, right? Because we need to know the client. All the client team members, especially, I'm thinking of Jomari, when you try to repeat this, in your world, it's going to be, a bit tricky for you to do this. So this will be a 20 people team or a 30 people team, and you need to be really, maintain this very, very clearly. So the client team is here, the StepUp.1 team is here. Maybe the team can also come here, because we are talking about how many here. And that there itself we can come, and the group leader and the group can come on the top, right? Okay, that's one. And then objective, yeah, this is objective 1. For delivering objective 1, what do we need? The most important thing that we need is team. Come on, you need
first message.
Exactly, you need the first message, which is here, right? And we are trying to do nowadays, a few interesting things. So first, we're just trying to, be a bit more innovative.
Yes,
in terms of.
I was thinking also.
Yeah.
under this network and branding, we can also be starting without forgetting to the makeover of the client account, because step by step guide as we used to do for ours.
Yeah. So that's a part of branding. We don't need call it out separately, but branding and personal makeover is is just one thing. Yeah, branding and personal. Okay. Client team, step up dot one team. This team, I don't like the way the team is coming here. Ideally, the team should be here somewhere, like for example, whoever is here, whoever is working for the client, we should so this thing, and here should be the team, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what do you guys think, because against, the client name, if we can somehow bring our name, that is perfect, in my opinion. But let's see, because each one of these, if somebody is paying so much, they want to know who they're paying for, isn't it? So it's really important that name, comes somewhere here rather than, hidden place. Yeah. Okay, we'll worry about that. But in order to do the objective growing personal message, we need the first message and we need the second message. And my take on that second message is, you have to be, some clients want A/B testing. They want message, A and message B. Two first messages, not just one message, but two first messages. So to get a sense, who they are, like, who else. Yeah, there are a bunch of clients for whom, we have done this. Like I remember doing this for Race to Pi. Let me just take them. So if you see, we got message A and message B, right? So this will be message A, this will be message B, and this will be, a second message, right? Should be, yeah, I think, we should try to bring this full thing, right? Because that A/B testing should become a part of all our regular thing. Some clients say, yeah, I don't want it, let's just go with a simple one. That's okay with us. We can do that also. Are you guys with me? I mean, you might think, what the hell is happening? Why are we complicating this? But you have to remember one thing, guys. We are really taking a very big leap. Now we are at a very professional level. We are trying to hit it, right? So here as an example, we can even put our first messages, right? Because it's always very tricky to put other people's messages, isn't it? Like, because this is a template, and people don't like their things to be used. So we can just use our own stuff here rather than other people's messages, right? What is our message? I mean, we have so many messages, first messages, like the old first message must be definitely there, right? So so something like this. This could be, our first message. No, yeah, we can put it here, but I'm sure, you can, we can pick one of our old messages and, put it over here. And similarly, our second message is, even the bad message that we had, right, can be not bad message, that's what we've been using for like, like years now. So it's not bad. It just, it's different, right? Yeah, this is our second message. Message A, or I think, it's important to start with, this one, message A. Right, first connection message. This is also the first connection message. What message B? This is a second. Ideally, the second message should not be, a call to action message. Second message should be still a value added message. Right, but it will become too many if I start putting all those things. I'm just trying to see what is the right way to do this. Let's do it. Let's do the way, and then we'll figure it out, right? So grow your personal network, and then this one, first connection message. We'll identify one more message. Second call to action, and right. So we'll put something over here, but I think people should know what it is. We don't need to fill the damn thing with so many messages, right? People know what it is, so they know that this is what we are currently playing with. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So first message A and B, second message A and B, and all these can be deleted because they're not needed at this time. Right? Okay, so this whole thing is just for this objective. Yeah, we can try to color them slightly differently because we want the objective to stand up. So this is our objective. We want our objective to stand out. Maybe we can even do some way to make that stand out like this. Still not starting out. Must be like this, maybe, I don't know. Objective 1 is to grow. Okay. And then the works. Yeah, so this is obviously, for a particular client, we just need to fill this up with some nice content that makes sense for a client. Like, for example, yeah. Like properly, like, so maybe let me just see. Yeah, something like this. Because we don't want to make it look messy, at least when you're starting. And we also think, this is just executive 1 and graduate 1. Right? And various industries or company or whatever. Yeah. This is, I think, what we can achieve in 1 year, right? So let's say, think of this as a 1 year long, thing that you want to show. So in 1 year, you can connect with 5,000 clients in these industries. And let's assume 1,000 of them have connected back, every in a year, which is 20%. And out of the 1,000 who's connecting, let's take our own example. How many will be engaging with us? Let's take 20. No, 20 is too. Maybe I think more than 20 will engage. 50 will engage definitely, right? And what happened? Yeah. Sorry. So 50 people engage out of this. That's 5%. How many gets converted? Let's say 5. Yeah, that's 10%. So what we are trying to do is, if they engage, one graduate, okay, we can convert, 5 clients. This conversion ratios are, obviously very different in each one. So, you guys can play with this approximately. But let's say if they engage 10 graduates, we'll be able to convert 50, right? And I think it will be a good thing to put something here like deal size. I think it will be good to have a deal size here instead of A/B testing. So, A/B testing should also come somewhere. We'll have to figure it out. Let's say deal or revenue. Okay, for revenue to get calculated, you need like a deal size, isn't it? Like, what is the size of the deal, right? So let's say if the deal size is let's say $10,000, just for the heck of assuming it, right? Don't have to be precise about these things. And we can ask the client also, like, boss, what is your typical deal size, right? Let's say it is $10,000. Then what is the total we are going to be doing it? This multiplied by this, right? So it's $50,000 from, and this one has to be star. Just have to put star because, we don't want this thing to move. Anybody know why I put a star? It's not a star, I mean like a dollar. Any Excel gurus here? No? Okay. So I think you probably get the idea that if they engage, one person, it's $50,000 revenue per person. If they engage, 10 of them in the same year, we can produce $500,000 revenue for our clients. Right, approximately. We are trying to put everything, in perspective. What do we mean by growing your, network? Does this make sense, or it was a bit difficult for people to understand? No? Okay. So we have finished objective 1. Now comes objective 2. What is objective 2? Objective 2 is this. Branding and
I have a question.
Personal. Go ahead.
Yeah, on objective 1, how do we, I'm just trying to understand the revenue, a bit of it, because this is growing personal network, which entails that we don't get to the closing,
They
closing.
don't. No, No, but we are just simply trying to, indicate the possibility or the potential of these things, right? So when you're explaining objective 1, you will probably not do the whole thing. Okay, so you will not put these ones, this 50 and this whole thing can be removed when you're talking only, increasing your personal network. It's a good point, Bahana. I'll change it slightly so that you can basically, show the difference between the two things.
Sure.
I will do that. Okay. Delete all these things. Branding and personal makeover, right? I don't like the word personal makeover, but let's say branding, and ideally it's thought leadership, right? Not, but the problem is I've used the word thought leadership here. Okay, let's play with it. What are the things that we need? We need keywords that matter and trusted sources. Simple sources, specific, super specific, simple, specific, super specific. This is a real client giving real example. We need exactly this in our meeting. In our second meeting, we should have got this out of the client. If you don't get this out of the client, don't close the meeting. Without this, you cannot do anything. Right? That's objective 2 and personal makeover, right? So these are the two things that you need. And how would you count this, right? It should be some kind of a date, driven by date, isn't it? We started with them here, and so on and so forth, right? Like number of followers. I think what is important in this is, see, one of the thing I want you guys to think about is, one of the things that is missing in our measurement is, time. Like what happened in the last 1 month is missing. Our dashboard is beautifully capturing everything nicely, but what it is not capturing is the value that we added over the last month. We are capturing the cumulative value that we are, adding, but we are not capturing the net new value we've added in the last 1 month. You understand, Bahana? I think this is such an important thing for all of you to think about. There's a cumulative value added, but what about the time? So for example, if each of these were, had a timeline, like what happened, like last month and this month, what was the state as of last month? What was the state as of this month? And therefore, what's the net new that happened? Right? You guys with me? So let's say this is as of last month. This month, we have done 5,500, right? Let's say. Right? So the net new thing is, I'm just assuming, with if you're working with 10 people, obviously when you're working with one, it'll be just the same thing, right? So the net new is 500, correct? Something like this. So 5,000 new connections we have made. And let's say this is 1,100. Hey, no, this cannot be true. Does this make sense, Bahana?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm trying to think how sustainable this is gonna be. You know, let's say, for example, you work with a client for 6 months, you know, and will you have such monthly kind of thing moving down?
No, just 1 month. Just 1 month.
Like, okay, I mean, just trying to understand what's the point of having this right from the beginning, from the first go, like when you have a client meeting, like what are we trying to achieve by having this you know, monthly, trying to show this kind of monthly value to the client?
See, Bahana, what I'm trying, it's not in the beginning. It's basically, it's we are trying to showcase this so that people are able to see the value we are able to deliver, on a monthly basis, right? What happened, Bahana, over a period of time, both you and the client will get lax. You'll relax. And when you relax, you take your eye off the target. And when you take the eye off the target slowly, escapes. All I'm saying to you is, we are getting into a territory where it's going to be extremely professional. And we need to really raise the game if you want to also, and it gives a sense. For example, I don't like this way. I mean, I really don't like this way. So it has to be something else. Actually, it has to be some other way of showing this, month on month. Say, for example, it could be just this, right? Like January 22, right? February 22. Like what happened in this year? Something like this. Yeah. Because I'm just, so what happened, each of these months, when we worked on this, we worked across all the segments. Maybe we can just report this one. So for example, let's say this is as of January, right? We can say, we can just copy this and put it over here, right? And say, yeah, we don't need to calculate anything, right? And then we can say the next month it became 50,500, right? The next month it became something like this, Bahana. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how do we do this, but like this 50,500, 50,600, or no, 50,000, 51,000, like this. So basically in 12 months, we would have done another 4,000, right? So we were in January, we were 50,000. Yeah, we added 1,000. Oh, no, something is wrong. So if we do this for one person, I'm just thinking what that would look like. Instead of taking 10 people, if we did this for just, one person, this should look like 400, right? Or 500, how much should we? 500. Because sometimes, when you show the people get overwhelmed, when you show, too much. So let's say this is one client, and we have connected with so we have done. We are not able to do 6,000, isn't it? We're only able to do 400 a month. That's 4,800 a year, right? And let's say 100, because this can start to give a sense of some reality, how much connections, etc. Right? Yeah, 4,800 people we are able to connect, and this can say how that happened. Even though this all can be done, okay, let's keep it this way, because then it's really easy for us to show that for the time being. We'll worry about the others later. But now, if you look at this, this is almost, this is what we did first month, second month, third month, so literally, we can do monthly here itself and show the, show the thing results over here, right? So this is what we need for, research, let's put mining and metals, oil, and energy. So yeah, we have built the dashboard. So Abhi, look, this is just an example dashboard. Obviously, each client will have a different kind of a dashboard. So you shouldn't be confused with that, right? So so we have done the thing, and then here we need a way to see this timing thing is going to be super exciting for this branding and thing, because in branding it's all about timing, right? So it is going to be, if we start like this, what is the so in a year's time, let's say if you're going to take a particular profile, let's say client 1 LinkedIn, right? If we're going to take client 1 LinkedIn, what do you think we can achieve in the 12 months, right? What are the things that we can track? Let's, if you take your own LinkedIn, ideally you should try and do this yourself. We can track things like how many connections they had. Ideally, this would be for both, the client and their company page also, ideally. But let's take the client. Can we track the followers, the number of followers that they have, or you need a way to do something, guys. This has always been a problem for me in terms of how to do this, but we need some ideas to do this actually. So if I just take let's say myself as an example, what are the things that we can track for me? So the followers is here, right? This can be easily tracked, isn't it?
That's for branding, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's for branding.
yes.
That's for branding. So I can say followers and following, but I'm not sure about this followers and following. It's not a big deal. What else can I basically do on LinkedIn? Like from
why don't we build on, like, hello?
Yeah, tell me, keep talking.
No, I'm just thinking of some analytical metrics like followers, likes, number of posts, maybe a professional banner, all these kind of things. just need to figure out how to improve them on that.
Yeah, something, the followers is definitely a great thing, but I don't think, we can really do much. When we can track the followers, definitely that's easy to do, number of followers. I think, let's do this really simple.
Yes, I think we can also track the number of people that post reached, like the number of views.
Yeah, so just keep telling me, guys, don't stop talking, because it's very important you keep telling me. So all these things are not important, so we have got all these things because this is just a monthly number. So we've got followers, right? How many followers? Let's say we start with 1,000, right? And then in every month, we are able to just increase the number by 200, let's say, right? So we are able to increase the follower count by 200 people, from 1,000 to 3,200 in 1 year. In terms of number of posts, right? I think this is possible to count, like how many posts we are doing every month.
Very possible.
Yeah, this is much easier. And then number of I don't know whether we call it number of likes and stuff like that. We can just call it number of engagements.
Impression.
Yeah, number of impressions. Sorry? Sorry, tell me again.
No, just talking of engagement,
Yeah, okay. So number of posts, and then impressions is, I don't know if we can find it, let's say impressions, and then engagements. Because impressions is different from engagement. So we put 5. Typically the impressions will be, 4,000, maybe, it's like 100, 500.
I think the engagement, like kind of combination of the comments, likes, and all these things, it's part of.
Yeah, so this will be, engagements will be like, one, it will be really small, isn't it? It won't be like big.
And the impression is how many number of, your post was seen.
Yeah. Yeah, so this could be, you start with 1, 2, then 5, 10. It could just keep growing like this, hopefully, right? Hopefully, because you are getting better and better impressions, better and better this thing, right? Maybe this is a bit too much, 100, 200, 300. Yeah, so this is better. Yes, we don't want it to grow too much. Yeah. It's really amazing how screwed up this is. Okay. And so we've got followers, number of posts, number of impressions, number of engagements. What else? Is that all we can measure? Paul, can you think about this, Paul Bahana? I mean, this is not the best thing we have done so far, but it's getting, it's really important, we start doing this something. Whenever we start, we measure it. Can you try and, do the Susan and Paul? Can you do this for Leila? and see what and all we can do. So, obviously that is Instagram, so you'll get much more, details. So can you create this dashboard for Laila, and we can start publishing it also, just to know, if you don't know the values, just assume some values and just keep going back.
And can we also think of number of endorsement?
Sorry, number of
endorsement.
Endorsements, huh? I mean, that's not something we control. Yeah, but we can add that, if you're able to.
That's not something we, we kind of have a hands on, we don't.
Yeah, we don't control that, so I don't want to take anything that we don't have control over. So this is objective 2. I think if you're able to do this much for objective 2, I will be super, super happy. Objective 3 is should be, starting here. Yeah, this is where Bahana, where you are talking about, right? Why are we putting revenues here, right? Ideally, we shouldn't put revenues on all these things over here, right? Ideally.
Hello, Anis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I will leave the call. I was spotted and the phone is going off.
No problems. You can.
I will reach out to Bahana. There is some sort of issue we need to fix in terms of the last payment.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no, just talk everything, whatever you want to talk about payments, on the group chat, and we will, sort it out. Okay, sure, Jean-Marie. So what is the difference between objective, the personal network and this? Is this actually, right? Because I think we need to be very, very clever about this. So can you tell me what I need to delete here? In fact, in the personal network growth, right? Okay, we should not even have this second message. You guys tell me why you should not have the second message.
Yeah.
Yes, Anis.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Bahana, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hi, Anis.
Yeah.
I think the main idea is we're not selling anything. We're only connecting.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So second, value-added message. Third, call to action message. What else? Come on, guys. What else should we stop with the second message? We should keep going. We should keep going until, we find closures. So fourth, maybe reminder or follow-up. Until we close, we keep going. Okay, I hope that is clear to you. Second, value added. Third, call to action. We have all these messages, somewhere we have it. We just have to, bring it over here. Wow. Okay, cool. Now tell me which one we need to delete here. We need to delete, in the here. So we are going to connect with 400 every month. So that is 12 months, 4,800. And that will get you connected with 1,200. That's roughly, 1,200 people. And engagement, no, this is not going to happen. Correct? Delete engagement. Conversion, no, this is not going to happen. Delete conversion. And obviously revenue will also not happen. Correct? But keep the columns there just to show the difference, right? What are we going to do here? Everything. So we're going to keep the 400, 1,200, 560, and then 60 conversions, right? And if each of them is 4,800. This is a bit too much actually, but yeah, let's engagement. Let me just take it down a little bit more to 20. That's 240 people have engaged and 2 people are signing up. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you please repeat? I didn't get very well the revenue. How do you get the revenue? So I missed that when you were explaining.
Okay. No, basically, if you take this, Bahana, just the first line. So you contacted 400, 100 connected back, 20 engaged back. Yeah. And 2 converted. So think of this as a step up one dashboard. Okay. And think of this as one client, one other thing. So if one graduate of ours works for StepUp.1 for 1 full year, okay, going to 4,800, how many clients we are getting? And what is our deal size? Our deal size is $3,600, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to put our deal size $3,600. So this is unrealistic for us, so we have to reduce this. Okay. So this assumes a scenario where we are not even converting 1, but I can't go below 1, right? We are converting 1 for every 1,000 today. But this is what is our thing. So one of our graduate should be able to give us 1 client every month for StepUp.1. Are you with me? So if one of our graduate contacted 400 and one client, that will give StepUp.1 $3,600 of revenue for the whole year. Make sense, Bahana, or no?
Oh, that's correct.
So that's what I'm trying to calculate here. So the question that you need to ask your client is, if we convert 1 client, in the first month, what will be the average revenue from the client for the whole year? Right? That's what we need to put for him here. Fair enough?
Yeah.
And what you can do, tell him is, usually nothing happens in the first month, nothing happens in the second month, nothing happens in the third month. Right? Because first 3 months you're just hunting. 4th month, something converts, 5th converts, 6th converts, and then slowly you can even, increase the ratio. So maybe from here, 2 people start to come through. And from here, maybe 3. Are you with me?
You're correct.
Yes.
It's just a sample, guys. So don't get really, crazy about this. Nothing. It's just a sample. Our conversion rate is 8%. Our engagement rate is 20%. Our connection rate is 25% overall. All right. And therefore the revenue. So this
Anis, I just want to.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, there is a possibility of getting 1 client converted in the first month, isn't it? But we are just assuming, this is just an assumption, that we need like some time to connect with the clients. Am I right?
Yeah, because nobody, because we have to assume that we need at least 3 months for connecting, conversing, engaging, fixing meetings, and converting. So the cash register starts ringing only on the 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, 7th it gets bigger, 8th it gets bigger, 9th it gets bigger. It keeps getting bigger because it is rolling.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Okay. now we have done the subjective 3. Now, should we stop here, guys? I think, we have really done lots.
Anis? Hello? Hello?
Go ahead.
Maybe before we stop, I would like to raise something.
Yes.
About, I'm saying before we stop, I would like to raise something about my client.
Yeah.
The one I tried to write you some text in the group. I think she was requesting for a certain group to be figured out so that she has to receive it. She go and screen it, then we come and start the campaign. But since then, there is no. I think Kiza tried, but Kiza was saying like he failed to actually identify the group, and he refer the message to you to see if you can be able to identify the specific group that the client needs. But up to now, we have not responded to her. It has taken really very long time. I think month by now. I think she's still waiting. Kiza, when I try to talk to him, he's saying like he's not able. He referred the message to you, and still there is no feedback. I don't know what shall we do about this. I see it is good for us to respond to the client, whether if we are unable to do something, we respond to them also so that they should know the way forward. But now she is waiting, and we are keeping quiet for nearly 1 month by now. I don't know will this work.
Yeah, I think it's quite terrible. Terrible, you and Keisha should have worked it out, 1 month ago, or at least, 3 weeks ago, or at least 2 weeks ago, or at least, 1 week ago. You can't wait till 4 weeks, and that's pretty bad. Either you can do it or you cannot do it. If you're not able to do it, go back to the client and say that you cannot do it. It's simple.
Okay. So I think Kisa need to go back to the client and tell her we are not able to do it, because she was referring to you at Kisa and at Anis. I'm looking forward to see the category 4 being sorted. So I think you and Kisa, you can see the way of responding to us so that we can know the way forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think let me make it really clear, right? I will not be able to respond to any of the clients. If you need me to respond to any of your client, then we should remove your group leader and I'll be your group leader. That's going to be the thing, because it's impossible for me to get into every one of your clients and find out what I need to do. Then why do we have your group leaders? By now your group leaders know whether to do something or not. If they can't do, then go back to the client and say, this is becoming impossible for me to do, so we'll have to do something else.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Siri.
There is a challenge here. I don't know if I'm the one feeling it, but let me just express it out. The way you see, developing this dashboard is not a problem. The problem is becoming critical enough to understand what is needed to develop the dashboard. So I don't know, and that's where we find a way to including you in the meeting. You understand? So creativity of targeting audience, understand, like, for instance, let's take, for example, when we were targeting the teachers, the biology, management, all those creativity is what is needed here. I don't think if there's any leader who cannot develop the dashboard, but we are talking about creativity of targeting the right target audience. I know the client will be there giving us his human intelligence because he understands the needs better than us, but we also need to have that contribution which look professional in terms of social media marketer. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I've been doing that for, almost 150 plus clients so far, isn't it, who have signed up with us. What I'm saying is, if you are not able to pick up, it is not possible for me to, keep doing this forever. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying Bahana, Jean-Marie, Keisha, yourself, all of you should learn this and how to do this. If I keep doing this, you'll never learn it. So I've stopped it. Therefore, you will learn it.
I think this is hard way learning. It's okay.
Yeah. The problem is otherwise nobody will learn, Edie.
Hello, Anis?
No. Yes.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's a point taken. So I just have a question with regard to, I was just going through the second message, and which took me to this deck. So I assume the second message goes to the client, and we want them to learn more about what we are doing, but I see the presentation had some, contains the note, include the note, and which again,
you mean like when they download it, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
it
know
has
how to
note, which again, the picture will be using again during the meeting, and the client already has the same thing. So sounds not.
Yeah. We can solve that problem by, just making into from a PowerPoint. I can just do it a PDF,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Can we have maybe a PDF? And it seems not complete. Do you have a complete deck with the notes?
Yeah, I think that's the complete deck, Bahana. This one is the client pitch.
The one I have, no, I'm saying in terms of note for the pictures.
Yeah, this one.
The second part of it, yes.
Oh, even, for all these things, because I don't see any need for making notes for this, right? It's basically just show. You're just showing screenshots. That's why I didn't create, notes for this. But we can create notes for this also, because it's just, show and tell. That's why I didn't create. It's all screens, isn't it? So that's why I didn't create it. But I can do it. Not a problem.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, not a problem. We can do that. But yeah, notes.
I think the notes is really needed in terms of part of branding, because it's more complex, and we need it because you need to speak professionally, not just speaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there is this problem, how do you solve, let's say Keisha. So Dr. Swaz is saying, I've not been able to identify this group. This one, right? Group for Sudanese women leaders. With advocate for women's equality, leader in women's equality, leader in gender equality, women leader. Like,
yeah, it is Kiza who is
no, I know, but so Burberry, have you tried to do this? Like, why is he not able to identify this group? Like, what have you done about identifying these groups, Burberry? Like, have you seen how he identified the other three groups?
Sorry, I did not pick your point. The network is disturbing everyone.
Okay. No, I think you need to understand why he's not. So this is group 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he should understand, why he's not able to do it, and explain why, and maybe bring it up on Wednesday meetings, and we solve these problems on Wednesday meetings, because we really need to I had a very similar, we had a similar problem with Shem as well. Shem was not able to identify the AI people for almost 4 weeks now, and we kept going back and forth. It's really simple, either you know how to do it, or you have to get a group leader who knows how to do it. That's how it's going to be. I can definitely help you once, but I cannot babysit for the rest of the time. It's impossible for me to do that. But
Yes, I think Anis, just want to come in very quickly. There's a problem, maybe we need to address within the team. There is no that kind of collaboration when it comes to executing the work. A team leader will start somewhere, but will not be, won't have the courage to reach out to maybe another person who might be in a position to help him, and rather run to a niche, So we don't have the guts to reach out to somebody within, ourselves and.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
This is exactly what I told you on this last week.
Yeah,
That's the biggest problem we have. Idi will not reach out to me and tell me, Bahana, I have this
Until I
problem.
rush to Anis.
Yeah,
It's
until
wrong.
you rush to Anis first, which is very wrong.
We
When
need
you
to have a channel of communication.
So the first thing would, because you may not know how to do A, and Bahana knows how to do A, and Bahana doesn't know how to do B. You know how to do B, and if we combine, effort to reach out to me, maybe I may also try the same thing. And if you miss one group, I can, oh look, I've gotten this. Can you have a look? That kind of synergy within the graduate first before escalating to you. I think it's very, very important. Yeah.
No, not only escalating to me, right? Like what Barbary is telling me, it's been nearly 4 weeks, then, nobody has answered this. Now, that's a huge problem, right? You can't wait for 4 weeks. Barbary started telling me, I think 1 week ago, which means, this has been lying and waiting for 3 weeks, and no client work has happened for 3 weeks. So that's a huge problem. I think we need to really, figure out a way to, discuss these things. And even this explanation, how, even if, let's say, Kisha puts this explanation in the execution group, he has to explain more. And Barbary, you need to explain more. You are on the ground, right? So you have to explain more that we tried group 1, it worked. Group 2, it worked. Group 3, it worked. But for group 4, we are not able to do this because A, B, and C. Can somebody help? That is how you need to explain your problem.
I think it's okay. I actually even had problem with the groups. It is Kiza who knows better about them. He's the one who managed to identify the rest of the group until when he reached group 4, I think he was unable. And that is when I was asking him to do a referral like other people who know, because basically, typically, he's the one who does this normally. With me, I don't have good idea about it. So he actually kept quiet for quite long, and then he responded with word that he's not able. So I do not know what to do next.
Okay. Again, we need to be right on top of that, Barbary. You can talk, in the group very actively. You don't have to take a back seat. Talk actively. You don't have to be, as much as possible. You should try to don't wait. Is my advice to you. But try to put this problem in the group execution and try to solve it. And that way, there will be much more, stronger collaboration. Okay.
One more thing, Anis.
Yes, Siri.
I don't know if it is a concern to me or maybe Farah also has come across it. What do you think about getting each and everyone who's pitching at least get a good number of meetings per week? I feel like my week is empty. The whole of my week is empty. And maybe, okay, Keisha has a lot of meetings, and we also need to offload in someone. He can have 5 meetings, but he can still be his own meeting. Even I can close it if he wants. He can still be its own, but I really need that experience.
I completely agree with you. I think this is a big problem. We need this thing to sort out. I don't know how to sort this out. Ideally, we should just, like for example, in our dashboard, we need to be able to say which, that assignment of pitching thing. It's something that is needs to get implemented so that, we know who's pitching for whom. It's a problem. If anybody has a better way, let me know. But
maybe Bahana can give us his input. He's a leader in the group, and I'm sure he can help. What do you think, Bahana, about this? What solution can you come up with?
Sorry, Edie?
Yeah, I was asking about what do you think about maybe sharing the number of meetings that we will be having our client, because it will develop our confidence, even if not taking the money. I don't care about closing and taking the money, but I care about the experience, because like since I started, I've done only 6 meetings. My 7th meeting will be on Monday, Tuesday, yeah. So it's crazy. And then you'd find one person, Keisha has like 4 meetings every day. We need to share all these meetings. It could be an opportunity to grow. That is what I'm thinking about. I don't know, but that's the suggestion on my end. That's why I was asking, what do you think? What can we do to solve such an issue?
Yeah, I don't have a direct answer on that, Edie. I think maybe Anis can advise on this, or maybe another colleague on the call. But we need to find a way of, distributing these, kind of this labor in the pitching equally among the pitchers. I mean, it should not be a race to, closing clients and, making the money, but rather, just like you say, a way of, sharing the work and making sure that everyone, brings the best, out of this. Because we also need to look at the performance, like one will have 5 meetings on daily basis, but we need to look at how many meetings the person is able to close, for example. And the person is having one meeting, let's say 2 meetings a week. What has been, the success rate? Then instead of for example, Bahana, taking 5 meetings, and at the end of the month, I have like 20 meetings. I've not been able to close, let's say 5 or 2, deals, and yet somebody who has been having 1 meeting a day is closing at least 1, client per month. So we need to rethink the distribution of this. But the other thing is, this is something we are not in control of. These are graduate sharing leaders, links maybe. So we need to brainstorm together, and find a solution.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe Farah also can give his own input, but it's not something you should dwell in. Only that, like I've been thinking, sometimes you can have a problem of internet in Kakuma, and you have 5 meetings. And again, like I was wondering, like yesterday I saw a meeting for Kiza. He started working from 11 Kenyan time, 11 a.m. up to 4. They were in sequence, like they follow each other. So I was wondering if you have this time to breathe, that was crazy. We have this new dashboard. We want to try working, like showing experience from it, and you wonder how will you get the meeting to express what you want to show. It's a bit tricky, but it's okay. It's true. It all goes down to our graduates.
Yeah, maybe one way also could be, Edie, keep sharing your, booking link in those groups, and remind people, if you to use.
No, it's out
link.
there. It's out there. It's out there. I can even share it again today. It's out there.
Yeah. It's just points, and like weekly you remind people, guys, here is
I don't think that's a good idea, but yes, it's a good idea for the time being, but going and telling everybody share mine is not a good idea. I think what we should try and do is to have a fixed set of people for each of the graduate, like, so that they're able to control it. For example, I'm thinking if a group leader is able to pitch, should we give first preference to that group leader as long as that person is in that team? Can we, have
We
that?
can maybe agree with main group when everyone is there, or we can still also have a suggestion.
No, I'm just trying to build a bond. If you remember Bahana, I want to build this, strong bond. If you remember the 1,000 people task that you took, 1,000 graduate scenario.
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
my preference is that, that if, let's say, if Bahana is also able to, yeah, I think Shem is saying something. The main problem, graduate are very choose when it comes to use your booking link. Sorry, Shem, it's a bit difficult for me to understand. You can come off mute and tell us your question. Not able to.
I think
Maybe
I
he's
get
saying the
Shem's
graduate
point.
are choosy, yeah.
Yeah, the graduate are choosy because here, I mean, like it becomes difficult to control because the graduates are the ones sending out, the booking link. So it's they are the primary decision makers on which link to send, for example. So which we don't have control to. And for example, if it goes down to the pitcher, let's say, for example, Farah, if let's say he has 5 meetings and he says, I can handle the 5 meetings and I'm okay with that, and Ed is getting 0 meeting. So, I mean, how do we handle such? Because we don't have control over graduate sending, who's pitching link, booking, link, for example.
No, I understand what you're saying. Shall we try to adopt, we discussed this, right? We said this is not, because, you're able to see my screen actually.
Yes, you can.
This was what we thought, but we said we shouldn't do it because, this will not work, but I'm thinking a different way. Like, for example, if a group leader, for example, Bahana, you can pitch, Jean-Marie can pitch, if a group leader can pitch, then simply choose a group leader. Otherwise, choose from this group, from this list. AD is there, Farah is there. What do you guys think of that idea?
No, I think that's okay, but I'm not sure whether we are solving this question. Because, I mean, that's just, the people will still choose whom they want them to pitch, But it's not solving it.
Are we solving the problem?
It's not solving it. This problem.
Anis, let me have my view on
not
this.
Even problem. First of all, do we know is a problem or is not a problem?
It is, it's a problem. It's a problem. I wanted to see this. I think, yes, what Fahana said is very true. We don't have a control over the graduate. We can't dedicate, say right now, as the matter is, we can't say we can't stop the graduate from sending my booking link or edits or quizzes. So if we assign graduates to a certain pitcher, I think that will solve automatically the problem. What I also wanted to add is that the matter is not just sharing the booking link with the clients. The graduates also need the advice on what to respond, drafting the messages, all that. So when I help them on drafting that, surely they will share my booking link with the client. So I think we as a pitchers, we need to do a little bit of extra work when we are assigned. If we are assigned to a certain graduates, we need to maybe form a group of those people that we are pitching for. Then they share their problem. Then we help them draft the message to the clients. And in that way, they can share our booking link. So I think the first thing I find a solution is dividing the hunting members or the hunting graduates to the pitchers that we have right now. I think that will solve the problem. But if you just say, if you just like in theory form, if you just say, guys go to that, I think it won't like solve the problem. That's my opinion.
You're correct. You're correct, Farah. But you know what? That is exactly what I've been doing until I got those jobs. Just like Shem. Shem is here to testify what happened. He brought his client's problem to the group. I took it and then I shared even my link, and that's how I closed the deal of Shem. Now, I don't know. Have you realized with the number of people who are supposed to pitch are reducing? If that is something you can realize, you will definitely believe it's a problem because they're losing hope since they don't get work. I don't know if I'm trying to see problem. First of all, we need to understand if it's a problem, then we will solve it. But if we don't see it as a problem, we will never solve any problem here. Then there's no problem to solve in the first place.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, Patience, go ahead.
Yeah, I have suggestion on that because, you know, once you limit graduates just to choose a pitcher, it doesn't make sense, you know. My suggestion is that let us, the pitchers, collaborate. Maybe you can find Kiza has 10 meeting today. He can say, Edie, you know, do you have a meeting this week? He can say today I don't have any meeting so that they can, you know, just, they can, maybe can say, I have a meeting meeting, you can help him with 2 meetings. So that once the kids has gone just to have a meeting, I mean, the ED can pitch on his behalf. You know, this one can be good. Instead of just limit graduates to choose the one that they feel who can pitch for them. Thank you.
Can I go on?
Yes, please.
Yes, yeah, I think that's a good idea, Patience. But you know, at the same time, I'm just trying to, we should not lose you know, track, because I'm just rethinking back to our initial discussion. You know, this is kind of an entrepreneurial model whereby, you know, we have this tracking dashboard for the pitching team. Huh? So you won't force me to choose, you know, just because ED doesn't have you know, work to do, then you are telling me to go and choose ED to pitch for me, and yet I'm very much confident that Kiza is the right person, or Farah is the right person who can close this deal for me. I think that was the initial mindset, the initial conversation we had. You know, let's the pitching begin, the team to start. We have this tracking dashboard. And then if Bahana, you know, I'm a group leader, I have 1,000 graduates under myself. I have 10 meetings that I need to close. And I know based on the performance tracking sheet that the best person who can close for me these things is ED. I'll go for ED, you know. So I don't want this limitation, you know, of my graduates are assigned to this pitcher or so on. I'm not saying there is a bad and a good one, but we should be in this, you know, kind of entrepreneurial, you know, setup system of sort. But at the same time, I would want maybe to have the pitching team to have this teamwork, collaboration, because at the end of the day, if there is no that cooperation, you know, we might end up losing clients. People will get overwhelmed, will get, you know, swamped up, and you know. So I think it has to start from the pitching team to organize, you know, themselves and see how to approach this on a daily basis. How many meetings we have? We could have a pitching group, for example, you know, and then the meetings are first published there by the pitchers. And if anyone wants help, if ED has 0 or 1, then you can say, oh, man, can you get into this? There's that collaboration there. But limiting at a graduate level, I'm not seeing it's you know, feasible, because we should not limit people. We should not glue people to other people.
Hi, Bana. I like your wisdom, and maybe to add up to that, I have a suggestion here. Why not we have one booking meeting, and then we know the number of pitches, and then we distribute based on the number of meetings you have maybe per day. What do you think about that? This is just a suggestion. Then we will track the performance and all that from there, because if we just leave it randomly like that, a step up, we are also losing.
I don't think one booking meeting is possible, right? Because you know, we need to attach it to the calendar of somebody. what if nobody is available, one point in time, it doesn't, right now, if somebody books a meeting with you, you are pinned, you are responsible. If a group is responsible, what if nobody, comes to the meeting? Who's
Not
going to
group,
control?
not group. We will have one person who will lead the pitching team, and then we'll be scheduling now the meeting, telling like, hi Farah, we have 5 meetings next week. You will have one on Wednesday. I don't know if that makes sense.
Can I say something on that?
Yes, please.
Well, as a graduate, the other time when we were talking, I said that finding these contacts to sign up for a meeting or accepting a meeting, it is hell of a work to do. And therefore, as a graduate, the person who has contacted this client, I think it will be the graduate's obligation to choose the person whom they are confident with that can win them a job among the pitching team. My point is the opinion that the pitching team will be the one to decide on the pitcher of a graduate's contact. To me, I don't think if that will work, because tomorrow there's going issues are going to come up, like this person is not pitching well. I was having a client, and now if it would have been taken by this person, now I would have been having a work. So I think the graduates should be given that obligation to choose the pitcher. If that fails, then they don't have to blame anyone, because they are the person, they are the people, the graduate themselves are the ones who approach the person whom they are confident with. So I'm thinking that this should be an obligation of the graduate to choose.
Very, very, very good point, Deng.
And also, I think the only thing that remains now is the tracking of performance. Because as graduates, if, for example, I've been doing with ED, so if somebody else, another pitcher, is performing much better than the ED, then I have to leave ED for that person, because I'm seeing it that this person can convince clients to sign up so that I can get a job much more than ED. So I think it would be much better, Mr. Ani, so that you come up with how you can track their performance. You give us the percentage in our meeting, so that we can also see. It can be monthly, it can be weekly. At least that will be fine.
Yeah, that's a very good capitalistic way to approach everything. I really like what you're saying, Dang. The only problem I have with that is when Keisha is never going to say stop. Right? Keisha is going to keep on accepting all meetings. ED will accept all meetings, but because meetings can be booked 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now, right? So we need to have a way to say, guys, please don't book Keisha anymore. Please don't book ED anymore. Something like that. Because,
that's very fine.
Because and the first thing we need to tell Keisha and other people is that they first of all need to block time for doing their client work. These guys have so many clients, it's really important to focus on the client. A client work is like a golden duck, right? It keeps on giving you a golden egg every week, every month. A pitch meeting is like, cutting open the golden duck and taking the one gold egg. You want to focus on your, monthly egg. There is something that is coming every month. And that's exactly what I told ED also. ED has 1-2 new jobs and he already has one old job. So I told ED to think about it. it's impossible. And I tell this very openly to everybody today. It is impossible for ED to execute two $300 jobs and one more job that he has already got. So 3 jobs, and then trying to pitch every day for 1 or 2 clients. That's an impossible fail situation. Slowly, but steadily, but surely he will lose all his clients. Because, yes.
Maybe continue, I'll put my input.
So we have to be, really careful in how we allocate our time. The first thing that we need to allocate our time is to the clients who work with us. We have to allocate a minimum of 3 hours every day for a client who's paying us $300. Minimum. If you're not doing 3 hours of work for a client who's paying us $300, now I was just having a chat with Keisha yesterday. I told him, Keisha, if you're working in your school, because he was a teacher, what time you have to go to your school? Keisha said 9 o'clock. What time you'll come back? At 5 o'clock. And how much did they pay you? 7,600. How many hours did you work, Keisha? 8 hours. For how much money? 7,600. How much time do you work right now for a client who's paying, $300?
3 hours.
Not a single one, except the Slova team. I can guarantee not a single one in Step Up works for 3 hours per client. Not a single one. I guarantee this. In the last 3 years of my experience with every one of you, nobody works for more than 1 hour. And even that 1 hour, I doubt it. Every single day, I doubt it, except this is the only exception is Slova. So it's really easy for somebody to tell me, oh no, there's not work, right? Then, because I've already done my work. That's another easy one. I need to connect with 20 people. I've done it. If you keep the mentality, you need to connect with 20 people and you have done it, you're going to lose your client, like we have lost all our clients in the past. You have to think about who the client is, how the client is, how can you make, a real value add. And so far, I don't think any one of you are doing that. It needs to happen, but I'm just telling you what I truly feel without, mincing my words. Yes, Eddie, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I believe what you're saying is right. And like how I explained it to you initially, my plan is, first of all, I'm not an incentive worker in the camp. I was a freelancer and I'm still a freelancer even before joining Step Up. I understand what a client needs, and I'm sure to deliver to my best because that is what is paying me. I am not the kind of people who believe in incentive jobs. It's 5 years down the line, I've never been an incentive worker since I started my freelancing journey. Like I told you, 8,000 shillings that I get from Frey has been very important to me because it is the one that even affected positively me getting these 2 jobs. I'm living in Kakuma 1. I go up to Kakuma 4 to get internet and electricity. Ruach is my immediate witness to this. Sending connections, I have to use that money to send connections, sending second message, I need internet, and that's how I do it. Now, I gave you my plan, which I can't put it all over everyone to know, but I'm sure I'm not going to travel again to that and to get internet and all that. I'm getting it in one place. Let's do it as a pilot project and see my performance. But still, I don't remember. I think I can recall when I joined, I knew people having 3 jobs. I don't know how will it be more
exceptional for me to deliver.
No,
And I'm still sure we're working as a team. Where you see me failing, you will help me. And again, I would love to know what do we put extra to our clients so that we deliver for that 3 hours? Because it's not only me alone, we are talking for all the people working for our client. Thank you.